Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading for the end of the month of May. And Aries, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Aries, we all have a little bit of Aries in us. If you do have your birth chart, what house is Aries in? That could give you further clarity as to where this information shows up for you. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we're going to begin right away. I'm just double checking because this is still a new spread for me. I decided to add my paintings from Tales from the Vector to the readings, and so I had to change the setup a little bit. All right, I've got my co-pilot here now. All right, hi Stella, good morning. Did you just wake up? You did, you just woke up. Okay, you heard me doing a reading, did you? You're a sweet girl. All right, this is the Death card. So a lot of people panic when they see this card, but this is nothing to panic about. The Death card is just talking about transition from death to rebirth, basically, and a cycle ending and a new one beginning. And the Grim Reaper is a symbol in the culture of that. In many cultures, it's not meant to be someone evil, but although he is very scary looking, this is talking about, this flag is saying there's light at the end of the tunnel. And this older individual is bartering or trying to barter with the Grim Reaper and say, don't come into our town, we don't want your change. But these young people here, they're offering him a flower, and this is representing the bloom of life. The king here has been trampled. Now, this doesn't represent an actual king. It represents systems that are breaking down, cracks are showing in them, the truth is coming out. And so this energy, we have in the background, we have the sun coming up, and it's between these two pillars. That's representing how have you led your life? On what kind of cycle have you been on? If you're on the side of truth and on God's plan, it's going to work out just great. If not, you might have a few problems to deal with to improve your performance. And we have, yes, heartache here. So this is also not the most pleasant looking card. There's 3 swords in this person's heart. So clearly there's some sort of heartache or heartbreak here. The swords in tarot represent the element of air. So it's really about your thoughts. And, we express our thoughts through words, and words are they can be written or verbal. So this represents communication of some sort, but it also represents a need to heal the heart or for some sort of forgiveness to come through. This card can represent, of course, heartache. Sometimes in matters of romantic love, it could be a third-party involvement dividing a couple. This could represent gossip, slander, harsh words being spoken, not being able to speak your truth out of fear because that heart's in the throat. And basically, it's that type of energy. So we'll see what's going on with this. And then we have the Chariot energy. The Chariot is representing that you're on your designated path. This is on your path of destiny. You notice like this person has no reins. There's no need for reins because he's left the city where he's at and he's on his way on his destined path, the path of glory that God put him on. And this is like a tank. It's just like tung, 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 tung. It's just going to keep moving and keep going. And get you to where you're going. And that's representing your identity and self-image. Now, this card here is the overlying energy for the entire reading. And this one is for your internal forces. So this is talking about internal forces come from within. It's what you have control over. It's coming from inside of you. And you don't have control over the external forces, like what other people say or do, or what's happening in the world, controlling the events of the world or any of that. But you do have the ability to either react to it or respond to it. And so that's what the internal forces are, the what ifs quite often. If you are asking the question, what if they do this and I have to do that? What if I do this and then they don't do that? Those kinds of questions, the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life, those are your internal forces. And then we have the energy of the King of Wands. The King of Wands is representing someone who's enthusiastic about life. He is a visionary. He's considered to be the most sexy of the four kings. He's very, he loves adventure and he loves to explore new projects, new ways of doing any kind of shift that he does. And he has the element of fire represented by a wooden wand. Now this wand is made of wood because wood feeds and fuels fire. And also this is from a tree, so it represents the deep roots of our ancestors, and these offshoots represent our descendants. The king is, as I said, known to be very sexy and charismatic. He's very likable. He, in the background here, we see salamanders with their tail, like in a circle, and also this lion, and we see a little salamander running here. This represents, in the wands cards, it represents protection from fire. But I noticed a while back, and I can't unsee it now, how there's a face here. There's two eyes, and there's this mustache, and smoke coming out of the mouth and the nose. So that could just mean, like, because the king is so smoking hot, or it could represent an energy of where there's smoke, there's fire. Now, the King of Wands would be the last of the four kings to settle down. Like, he's more likely to play the field until he's a little bit more mature, and is probably the one who would, if he does get married, he would be the last, it would be later on in life. And one thing you have to remember about the King of Wands is that if he, the smoke, the protection from fire could mean he's smoking hot, and it also can mean that where there's smoke, there's fire. So he has a tendency to play the field, so just keep that in mind. And the Page of Pentacles is talking about it's someone generally around 7 to 14 years of age when they start working for the king and the queen, delivering communication within the palace walls. And then when they're 21, if they do a really good job and they're still there and they can afford a horse, they might even be considered for knighthood. This would be a real coup in those days to be able to work for the king and queen. It would be a much better occupation than the other ones out there. This energy is talking about communication coming in. In the old days, this would always be a male, but now this would be could be a female, and in their masculine energy. This also to remember, like back in those days, the lifespan was about half of what it is now. And so many people were already married and on their own when they were 14. So this, that just to put it into context. But this is representing some sort of communication or information coming in. And it might be from around something that happened from when you were around that age, in elementary school to high school age kind of, and getting out on your own. And this also could represent that youthful energy. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a person who's under 21, but it's that kind of energy that people have, and when they're about to set out on their own, that type of energy. And the communication, of course, in those days, it would always be like in person, a hand-delivered note. These days, we have so many ways of communicating. It could be a phone call. It could be a text message. Perhaps you get something in the mail. You receive flowers. You get an invitation to go to an event, or something like that, a card in the mail. You might get an email. Possibly this is representing maybe you're even on social media and someone messages you there, or you see an event posted there, and then I'm going to attend that event, and you run into someone who has the exact news you need. it's also a really good idea to pay attention to what's going on at the top of the pyramid of the elites, the people that are running the countries, the influencers, all of that energy. What's happening with them is a reflection of what's going on as above, so below. And you can sometimes pick up trends and just get some information. I just quickly watch the news for about 5 minutes before I come on here. And there was some really interesting news happening in Canada here, which I'm not going to get into, but check it out. We have right now, this is about Pentacles. And so this is about the economy and, on a higher level, what's been going on in the economy and the rule makers. This is about your health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimension. And that's basically what the news is about right now, about, the goings on in the 2020, 2021. There's some information coming out in Canada right now about all that time frame. And so it's just really interesting, like, to go back and look at that, and then it gives you some context as to what's happening now. This energy here is also represented by the coin. It's the element of earth. Money is a very, very big part of why people do what they do in the 3D. And it's, a big part of your health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. But having said that, you could have all the money in the world. If you don't have your health and you don't have love in your life, then you're not going to be living the lifestyle that you would want to live. So this is about lifestyle above all. And then we have here someone who is really feeling like, okay, so this is I should have just mentioned this is your abundance and self-worth. So you consider yourself outgoing, you're on your path, you're on a new adventure possibly, it feels like, with this coming out. And it might even be after a major transition in your life and some sort of heartache, something that happened maybe in your love life, maybe in a business, maybe in your family. We'll keep going and see that this communication is in the place where you would be receiving communication. And this is regarding, communication from your early life and how it affects how you communicate now. And then this is talking about the home and family, your emotional foundation at this time. It looks like there's been a mental struggle, and that would represent this energy here. This can represent potentially heartbreaking decision needing to be made. And this is having difficulty making that decision. So this person they can't quit overthinking it. They can't come to conclusion. What are we going to do kind of energy. And this might have been how you were as a child. Like, I'm just picking up energy. Like if there was an exam and, they have that A, B, C, D type exams. Which one? Is it A? Is it B? Is it C? Or is it D? It's that type of energy. And then the answer, but then when you read those questions, they're so tricky. And so then sometimes you get caught up in it, in this loop. Which one is it? And that's the type of energy I'm picking up here. So this is someone who's decided to get respite in a church or a synagogue or some place of worship and just meditate, pray. And also he's laid his mind to rest. And this is also about talking about putting the mind up on the wall. Like, leave me alone, mind. I'm going quiet. I want to get in touch with my heart. I want to know what my heart wants. This can represent the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. And your subconscious mind is developed by the time you are about 6 or 7, just before you start school. And so this is talking about that time frame when you're a baby and maybe up to about kindergarten age. And the thing is, we don't remember very much. Very few people can remember much about that time frame at all. And we are really counting on the people that were in charge of our care to tell us what we were like. And as a baby, we are like sponges. We would just absorb our environment at a very high level, every little factor that we were raised in. And, you can see that, like, just look at what a newborn baby in 1 year, what all they learn. It's absolutely incredible. And so these are really, your subconscious mind is made up of the thoughts of the people and the actions, basically, of the people that raised you and the environment that they raised you in. And yet when we get, it's heavily imprinted on us, and when we get to, triggered by something, we don't know the answer. I don't know why I'm losing. Maybe that's what this energy here is about. All of a sudden, I've got laryngitis. I don't know why. Okay, here we go. It's clearing up now. So it's words that are unsaid for whatever reason. So maybe when you were a child, nobody wanted your opinion. Like, it's just be quiet. Children are to be seen and not heard. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up. So you never maybe really felt heard as a young child. And so that affects how you behave now. Like, you never expect to really be heard. So this is the subconscious mind heavily imprinted on us. And as you can see, it's not that reliable. I lost my voice. And then we have here just talking about it. So this is talking about also the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind would be your spiritual health, basically. And the unconscious mind, a lot of people will say, I am a human being and I do have a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body as your vehicle for getting around life. That's sort of represented by the chariot. It comes from the spiritual. And this is your vehicle for navigating Earth. And if the unconscious needs aren't met, then it starts arguing with the subconscious and the conscious mind. Conscious mind is basically, yesterday I went to the store, I purchased these 3 items, they cost this. I walked home and then I made supper. And you could tell that and remember it and clearly be able to describe it to someone else. So the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind, when they're plugged into your heart, that's when you're going after your authentic desires. And to have the creative solutions that this person is looking for to overcome whatever situation this is, you have to plug into your heart and these are double-edged swords. So you need to use your logic as well as your intuition. And I feel like this is saying there was some heartbreaking decision that you had made, but this put you on your spiritual path, like really like fast, like the chariot's coming in, it's already in motion from the spiritual realm, and you're very determined about it. And this is talking about being able to communicate that now, finally being able to speak your truth and understand your truth. And so sometimes this card can talk about the healing after being in a heartbreaking position. And this is talking about the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind plugged into the heart's desires from doing meditation and prayer. So congratulations on that, Aries. That's a way to be. So this death and rebirth energy is really going to move in your power now if you're plugged into your authentic desires. And this is talking about, again, your childhood. And so there's something significant about your childhood. You might know what that is. You might not know what that is. But even if you do know what it is, you might not know the extent of what happened or the real truth behind it. This card is talking about the 6 of Cups. Cups represent love, and it can be romantic love a lot of the time, but this could be love of family, friends, that type of energy. And it can also be love of something you want to do or be. And so this energy, the 6 of Cups is really about reconciliation. And it can be like people from your past coming in and wanting to apologize or ask your forgiveness or vice versa. And it can also represent your childhood, illusions around your childhood. When we first look at this card, it looks like 2 children playing in the, out in the yard, and someone's watching over them. But when you look closer, you realize, hey, this is a gnome and this is a little woman. And she's wearing a white mitt here. This is saying she does not want to get her hands dirty. And if you look at her from the back, you realize, oh, this looks like an old hag. But from the front, it looks like a young woman. The old hag is saying, we don't want your stupid flowers. They're not even yours to give away. Come on, let's go. She's marching off. But the young woman, the young version, is being nice. She's explaining very nicely to the gnome why they don't want the flowers, why they don't want to get their hands dirty, Well, for one thing, because they're not yours to give away. But this is talking about also the white flowers in tarot represent innocence. And this innocence is an illusion here, because these flowers are actually from the nightshade family. This is Datra. And Datra is highly toxic to children and animals, like pets. You would never plant this in your yard. You wouldn't let children play with it. They could become very sick if they ingest it. And Datra is sometimes used by shamans who have had a lot of training over centuries and work with adults to clear up the illusions from their childhood and what's holding them back from when they were a child. So this person in the background, when you look closer, is actually just someone walking down the path, walking away. There's no one watching over these children, because they're not really children. So this card can say that you might have some illusions about the past, or about people from your past, from your family, that type of energy. Things may not be the way you remember them, or the way that you were taught they were, basically. And there could be a lot of hidden illusions in your childhood that are maybe coming up now, which will empower you to be able to move forward how you want to, like once you work through that energy, that's represented here, that you will be able to move forward in a much stronger way. When we know the truth, it gives us freedom. And there's some sort of judgment being called from the spiritual realm, and that's why the chariot's being sent in. It's basically saying, get on here. We need to go on your true ride. You need to find this information out so that you can make strong decisions in your life right now. And the ancestors from the other side, they are cheering. The trumpet is blowing. They're excited. Yay, finally, finally, finally. The judgment has been called. And the descendants are waving to them across the veil, the veil between the spiritual and the physical realm. And so this is talking, if the ancestors are cheering like this, it can represent that there was unfinished business that they didn't get around to before they crossed over, or maybe that they want to send healing energy. This is representing sometimes skeletons coming out of the closet and wanting their bloodline to be able to heal. And that's what you're doing by working on yourself. If you can heal this within yourself, whatever this energy is, then you would be able to not be passing that down generation to generation to the next generation and clear up the bloodline. And so that's why they are totally cheering. Sometimes this can also represent Pandora's box being opened. And when Pandora's box is opened, it's opened. There's not much we can do about that. There's no closing it. Then the truth just comes out and it keeps coming out. We are experiencing a lot of this truth energy on the planet right now, more so than ever before. And I do feel this has a lot to do with the fact that Uranus just moved into the sign of Gemini, and it's going to be there for the next 7 or 8 years. And all these big truths are coming out ever since. You can look back at my astrological readings for it would be the beginning of May and the end of April. I think it was April 26th when Uranus moved into Gemini. And it'll be there for the next 7 to 8 years. And the last time Uranus was in Gemini was from 1941 to 1949. And think about everything that was going on then. That was World War II, and the 4 or 5 years after World War II. So that type of energy is the last time Uranus has been in Gemini. And it's those kinds of truths coming out. A lot of truths being exposed. And not just on an individual level, but also on a global level. And so that's kind of the bottom line with Gemini. Gemini energy is very quick-witted, very quick. Gemini energy, they can change their mind. Their mind is very, very fast. And so they don't hold on to thoughts forever. We have this energy here of the 3 of Pentacles. So there's some sort of energy coming in. This card is talking about the Pentacle energy again. You are in an elevated position. This is talking about being in an elevated position, that you are someone that is you've mastered your skill set. And quite often this energy is talking about maybe you have your degree, you have your ticket, you have your certification, or just whatever, and whatever occupation that you've chosen that you're in, you're out there and you're doing it, and people are starting to notice that you really are very good at it. And maybe you were like, valedictorian of your class, or this can represent quite often the entertainment arts. Like this is sculpture here. Like, look at all the beautiful work. These people are here. They want to collaborate, and they've got plans in their hand, and there's a spotlight on your work. And so this is really awesome. This is saying that you're ready to get out there. But what it's also saying is you need to make sure that any offers you receive at this time, that they're in alignment with your lifestyle goals and not the other way around. Because when you're kind of at this period in your life, if you sign up for the wrong contract, you can really end up regretting it. And quite often this can represent secret society energy, that type of energy where they have their own rules and rituals and handshakes, etc. And you may not know about this, what the rules really are when you sign up, and then you find out the hard way later. So this is saying basically, congratulations, and collaborate with people for sure. Make sure whoever you sign any contracts with or make agreements with, that they are in alignment with the lifestyle that you want to live, so that you make really solid decisions. And that would kind of be, this could be talking about having to move, or, leave your city that you're in, get, different choices that you have to make to leave different people or places, or make a change in your career, that type of energy, or the heartbreak of making the wrong agreement. Make sure you get a lawyer who's versed in, especially if you're in the entertainment industry. Make sure a lawyer goes over any contracts or agreements that you sign to make sure that you know what you're signing up for. And then, because this is being caught up in a mental trap, basically. This energy is saying that this person is caught up in their own thoughts. This is, this is about your creativity being, having the ability to be as creative and have the romance that you want. And if you want to have children, like wanting to have a family and having that kind of lifestyle. And this is about your health, your daily routines, and your habits. This is a mental prison, basically. And so this is talking about the external forces. So the underlying energy for the external forces is making sure that you you're an adult now. You need to make adult decisions, because there's adult consequences. Basically, that's what I'm picking up. This is someone who feels duty bound. They can't get out of a situation. They don't want to even look at it anymore. They're like so upset they can't think straight. That's this energy here. And this is sort of talking about these external forces causing whatever it is that you've gone through here. And so this is, when you look at this, you can see like there's these 7 swords behind her. And I feel these are thoughts that she's had to work through, and she's finally worked through them. And there's only one left here, and this one's ahead of her. And she does have her left foot forward, which is representing ready to take, or her right foot forward, sorry, ready to take action. Her left foot, though, is still in a puddle here, but it's very shallow. Now, the water in tarot like this represents emotions. I feel there was way more emotion here. There was more water here, but now it's starting to dissipate. And she has been able to, okay, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to have to make that decision. She's worked through it. She's ready to, cut herself free and take the blindfold off and make that choice now, even though it's a very difficult one for her to make. And this is, I feel like this is cutting someone free, because this is in your commitments, marriage, and partnerships. So this could represent, we don't have a whole lot of romantic love here, but we do have this card saying there could have been a third party. And so there could have been some sort of energy that was heartbreaking. And she's decided to leave the relationship. This can also represent, you notice the the castle in the background, this can be about moving far from your family, you know, maybe even moving overseas or some sort of energy like that, or having a real division between you and your family, and you just can't forgive them. You can forgive them, but you don't want to be associated with them. This is important to recognize that forgiveness does not, you know, you can forgive someone and you don't even have to tell them that you forgive them. Forgiveness is so that you're not holding this energy within yourself and it's stopping you from being able to move forward. You can, you know, definitely forgive your family, forgive a business partner, forgive a lover, and say, I don't ever want to have anything to do with you again because of what happened. I'm not willing to hang out with you, but I don't hate you. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. It's that type of energy. Oh, and look at this. There's the devil here. So yeah, this is some sort of negative truth that's coming. It's caused a major transition. And there's definitely, like, we have lovers here. And these lovers are yoked to each other and they are chained to Saturn's box. The devil is crouched in between them, like this is representing animal instinct. This is saying that this is not love, this is lust. And this is, the devil is in between them. So they've sold their soul to the devil and are doing, are influenced by temptation, basically. So this definitely could talk about a former lover that you had, someone that was, you know, this is your partnership's commitment in marriage, someone very, you know, intimate and close to you. Could be your spouse, could be, you know, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a serious relationship. Could be a partner in business, family members, people that are very close to you. And this is talking about temptation and giving into it. It can also talk about signing a contract or something and then finding out after that you, they have expectations of you that you had no idea, and they are not in alignment with who or what you want to be. But now you've signed a contract, so you have to figure it out. You know, you don't know how, you know, this is why we're seeing this energy here. So it would be different for different people. The Aries energy, Aries is that, Stella, you need to stop being a big brat. You've knocked the camera 2 or 3 times. Either you sit here nice or you don't stay in the room. Thank you. Sorry, she's supposed to be raising the vibration with her purring, but she's got the zoomies. Yeah, I know. I know. You're running around like a wild woman. All right. You're knocking the camera every time you do it, too, and interrupting the reading, so behave. All right, so we've got, sorry. She loves the readings, but like right now she's got the zoomies. She can't control herself. She's got happy feet. So that's good. When she gets happy feet like this, she's in the zone. It's saying she's feeling the vibration from this reading. She doesn't like the devil energy. Whenever the devil comes in, she acts like this. So we're going to cover the devil. Maybe she'll behave now. Oh, and look at, this is awesome. Because the devil doesn't send in his own minion to do his dirty work. And so I always check to see, because you're not going to get the truth from him. And look at who covers him, God himself. So God steps in and says, I don't think so. This is my child. They're not hanging out with you. They've asked for my empowerment from me, and this is what's happening now. This is how we're doing it. This person's going on their designated plan, my plan, and you are going to leave them alone as of right this moment. This is saying, this is my child. This is my anointed. Leave them alone. This is your warning. And this energy is you as a child, happy, carefree, fearless, no reins, just like no reins here. This is this banner is representing you carrying this heavy banner of your destiny with ease, because you're and how happy you are, like that. Look at all the sunflowers here, they follow the sun. So this is the happiest card in the deck, and it's also talking about shedding truth and light on a situation so that you know what to do. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, God, for showing up, because this was looking pretty dark. And then we have the energy of this is immature competition. So sometimes this can represent sibling rivalry. This is a transition that's happening now. I feel that some sort of truth has come in with this judgment about when you were a child, and now you have an understanding maybe of why you are the way you are, or why your siblings are the way they are to you. Whatever that truth may be, could be something that really was challenging for you to face, but now you're covered here. And this is talking of immature competition. This is my Mean Girls card. This is, narcissistic cheerleader energy, young girls that are in a competition and they can see that the other team at the cheerleading competition has been definitely beat them, but they don't care. They want that trophy. And their mothers want them to have that trophy. So if they don't succeed, their mothers will pull strings behind the scenes to make sure they do. And this is the immature competition, because in a best case scenario, you are going to be inspired by and learn from the competition. The real competition is within yourself, being the best version of you. This could be like competing for, say, a job position, and everybody goes in for the interview, and you clearly come out the leader because you're able to rein in your emotions, discipline your mind, and speak clearly about, why you deserve the job. And so that's talking about learning from the competition and realizing, as you mature, you realize that even if you are in competition with others for a position or whatever, or you're on a team in a sport or whatever that is, you are going to be able to, if you are the best version of yourself, and you can even just be 1% better, and you learn from the competition, if everybody on the team does that, you're way more likely to win, and you're going to be better at it, and you will deserve that trophy. So it's about that type of energy. And we have, again, going off to calmer shores. This is saying this again. This is that after being hit with this competition again, and I feel like this is something that you're dealing with, this energy, whatever you're dealing with, it really hit you hard, and you went and this is talking about transition. This is talking about your higher learning, and now this is talking about your career and reputation. So it's like you're shoving off from these troubled waters now, and you are moving forward. And this is like the 6 of Swords. So I feel this is saying you have taken action, and you've gone to sought out calmer waters with God. And so this is talking about calming your mind, and this can talk definitely about healing your inner child. This is the energy, there's an adult and child, and you see they have no baggage whatsoever here. And this is about clearing up the mind so that as an adult, you can understand what really happened when you were a child, which has maybe been what's holding you back and keeping you in this mental prison. And so this is really good energy. It's saying that you've moved off to calmer waters from this. And this conveyor has this long pole, and it meant that you had to really dig deep to be able to push off out of this water. But now you're in a much calmer state of mind and ready to move forward in your career and heal your reputation if there was any slander or gossip or whatever about the situation. It's interesting because this doesn't feel like it could have definitely something to do with a partner, a spouse, or whatever, but this isn't about love so much as it's about carrying yourself in the way that you want to, about being able to move forward and being strong within yourself, no matter what comes from the external forces. So this is talking about moving on, definitely. So this is making this decision possibly to move farther away, even maybe overseas kind of energy. This person is standing at the turret of their castle and they're like, they have the globe here and it's like, I have the world in my hands. But I'm overseeing my domain and it's a small village I live in. And so he's a big fish in a little pond. So this is saying I need to take action to move forward. And this quite often I feel represents entrepreneur energy where you have been really successful, but the place that you're from is too small and you need to leave that city. It's really hard to be a hero in your own town as well. So moving on to different locations, whatever, might bring in way more blessings. And this is talking about blessings. This could also be you want to meet someone that you love, that you really get along with, and that has the same goals as you. And you're ready to move forward in that way as well. Like maybe start a family, meet someone, start a family, that kind of energy. And look at this, then a new lover comes in. This is about this healing energy that you've done. This is beautiful energy. Look at the difference here between this energy and this energy. You know, this is where you were. And this is after you've asked for God to help you heal from this childhood energy, this whatever that was. And now a new lover is coming in, ordained by God to be perfect for you. And the only thing between you is a cloud, which is saying that you might not know them. Or because of this card here, it could be someone from your past that you haven't seen since you were a child or haven't seen in a long time type of energy. So this is awesome. This is really, really good energy. I feel like you're on your way here, Aries. There's not a whole lot of astrological influences. We had the new moon last night, and that's in Taurus. And this is about Taurus energy is about you know, your possessions, what you own right now, and your relationship to that. Are you willing to give that up to move across the wheel? Is the Scorpio energy. And Scorpio is more like, hey, let's blow it up and see what happens and see if we can find a better way to do it. And that's basically this conflict is letting go of what you already have to be like the King of Wands and go out and discover the world, you know, that kind of energy. Really, really good energy for you, Aries. I really, really like it. The astrological influence aren't that huge. I'm going to talk about, like, the reason why I didn't do a new moon reading is because basically it's the real obstacle with the astrological influences is getting over what happened at the beginning of May, the end of March, or the end of April kind of energy. There was a lot of major astrological influences since the beginning of January, and those are calming down somewhat right now. And you can go back and look at those if you want to. It might give you further clarity if you haven't seen those videos. But basically, you're dealing with it really well. You're an Aries, and the reason why a lot of people are having difficulty is there was so many planets around the beginning of April moved into the sign of Aries, and this hasn't happened for like that many signs in Aries hadn't happened for something like 500 years or something like that. And so a lot of people had difficulty dealing with all the new energy, new everything. And you actually, I mean, that's your cup of tea. So that's kind of like, hey, you're thriving in this energy. You're really making good progress. All right, if you're leaving the reading here, thank you so much for your time and energy. I'm going to clarify this for those of you who want clarification. I'm using my oracle. My oracle is Tales from the Vector. I started this back in 2007, and in 2020, I completed 64 paintings. This here is one of them. I did there's 12 astrological paintings featuring each of the signs. And also, this is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And I am working on bringing it out as an oracle, like in deck form, but I haven't I want to work with it a little bit. I have a lot of written information, but I need to play with the cards more to see now that the whole deck is done, to see how the information plays out with in readings. So I will put the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're represented in the gallery on my website. And in the description box below, I'll put them in the numbers in the order they appear here. If you want to check it out, you can. They say a painting paints 1,000 words, so it might give you further clarity. We have the Hermit energy. This is talking about safe travels. The Hermit confers with God after going through like a major dark night of the soul, when maybe you find out some information about what happened when you were a child that you didn't know other people knew, or you have, someone close to you. There's been some sort of destruction here. It feels like it's progress for some, but for you it was heartbreaking for some, whatever happened here. Or it can just represent, there could have been in your relationship, your lover might have stepped out, because we have the lust with the devil. But in the end, it works out that you're going to find someone who is your divine partner is coming through. It's sitting right on this chariot. So now that you've healed your heart, you're going to be able to attract that energy, what you really want in a partner, whether that be in business or in love. There definitely is lover energy here. We have expectations. And so, if you go on a foolish journey, and you have expectations, that's going to create limitations. I feel basically that is saying be careful, because when God sends in someone for you, that's your divine partner, quite often it'll be someone that you're, that's not exactly like what you would know, someone you would normally date, someone you would normally choose. It could be someone very different from who you would normally go out with. And God's saying that's the whole point. You can trust his judgment better than yours. And this is deception. So kiss me good, hex in the city. And this is talking about that wanderlust energy that, some people take way longer to settle down, or never really want to truly settle down. They value their freedom above everything else. This is typical of a lot of the fire signs, and in particular the Sagittarius energy, because they just are more an energy that values travel and new. They enjoy that, just like the Aries and the Leo energy as well. And Leo's right here as well. So this is talking about being a strong leader, having confidence rather than arrogance. Sometimes Leos, they're natural born leaders, but they take time to mature. I think all the fire signs basically take more time to mature, because they value their freedom so much, and they're very fiery. And so they go off in directions and then explore it and then come back in. So this is saying that you're a natural born leader, but it might take you a while to mature, and just be aware of that. Think of teenage boys, how impulsive they can be. It's that type of energy. Also, I just want to point out that when horoscope signs come into my readings, in a general collective reading like this, I'm not talking about an individual. I'm talking about the quality, the state of being of the sign. What can we learn from it? If you ever get your chart done, you're going to find out that you have you have probably most of the signs, or all of them, in your chart. And you can learn from that energy, and we can all benefit from understanding each other better as well. And so the surrender, this is a psychic cleanse. I feel a big part of the reason why your ancestors are also cheering is because you're receiving this truth and healing from it. Because once you heal from that and you know what the truth is, then you can move forward in your full potential. And they're happy about that. That might have been some sort of unfinished business that they left. This lover energy could say this is someone that you know from your childhood. This would not be someone that you've already had a relationship with, that you broke up with, that type of energy. It could be someone you know, or someone from your past. It doesn't have to be from your childhood, but it could be quite a while since you last saw them. And then this energy, or you don't know them at all. Or you might even know of them, but seen them on social media or whatever, but you have never met in person or that type of energy. Or if you did, it was just in passing. The Hierophant energy is traditional structure. So this is about, the judgment is called, and then the Hierophant is the one responsible for bringing. That would be talking about the traditional structure of the courts in the third dimensional world, bringing justice in through the court, you know, the legalities, etc. And also in religion, this would be leaders of whatever religion you're in. That would be, you know, gurus, bishops, cardinals, popes. This could be rabbis, that, you know, whatever religion it is that you're in. And if you're more on the spiritual side, it would represent going straight to source energy through meditation and prayer. So this would represent God himself. Now, the external forces, there's a transition happening from that energy. So maybe there was some sort of situation that you were in. Sometimes this can even represent, with this energy here, that maybe your whole family got involved in somehow, and that energy is part of what the bloodline is being cleared up. Whatever you've done here is actually breaking the curse or whatever it is that's been running through the family that's been dealing with this. And that's why the adolescent or the ancestors are so happy. We have reckless abandon at the moon. So this is talking about being able to use your intuition. Remember, these swords are double-edged. You need to use your logic and your intuition to have creative solutions. The reckless abandon is W-R-E-C-K. This is talking about being able to make strong choices because now you have the truth of the situation. We have Aquarius energy on this. So that totally makes sense. This is talking about Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini. And as I said, for the next 7 or 8 years, a truth a day will keep the devil at bay. Basically, God has you covered there. And then this is talking about the Hangman. So the Hangman is the energy of balance. The Hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge, and he's upside down because he wants to gain a totally different perspective of his situation. And so that's talking about in your knowledge. So it speaks for itself. You want to be balanced, and when you have that balance, then you can move forward in a real strong way. Intent. So this is talking maybe if this is about healing your childhood, your parents and the people around you could have had really good intentions, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I do feel it might have something to do with this energy, that the family got wrapped up in this and they wanted you to be part of this. And when you refuse to be part of something, like a religion or whatever, there's all sorts of them out there. You can, you know, look them all up. Religions that separate families and instead of uniting them, like with all their rules, etc. There's all sorts of energy out there with, you know, secret societies and there's just so many things out there. So you just have to be, I feel like maybe your family got wrapped up into something and you didn't know about it for whatever reason. And now you've learned, that's why they were behaving that way. That's why they were angry with me, that type of energy. The Wheel of Fortune is moving forward, and this is saying in your favor, you're going to have a much better lifestyle now that the truth is out and you've dealt with this. And so will all the members of your family, because a lot of karma got cleared. That's why the ancestors are cheering, because they feel like it was their mistake getting everybody involved in this and they didn't know how to get out of it. So this mental prison was actually something that the whole family, I feel, has been in. And so your actions are actually God shining down, making everyone in your family happier eventually when they get used to the shift, because this is going to be a big transition here. There's a lot of legalities here I'm getting that might need to be dealt with. It's going to be a whole new world, not just for you, but for your family. So yeah, like this is saying you were successful. This is like talking basically the Fool starts their journey at the 0 point and comes back. 21 is the last card in that cycle. So the death and rebirth and rebirth again. Rebirth, death, rebirth. That's the way it is. This is an awesome reading, Aries. I really, really enjoyed this reading. I do hope you also enjoy it. Please do give it a like and comment. It really helps build my channel, and I really appreciate it. Also, consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. I'll be back soon with another reading for you. Thank you, Stella, for being a good kitty. Now I got to wake you up. Get down, little one.